What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Just here sat in my car again, and today I just wanted to make a video on pretty much the most expensive monthly cost for most people. And generally, you know, aside from the house that they live in, is going to be their car, or, you know, their other mode of transport, whether they, you know, ride a motorbike or if they fly in a helicopter, whatever it is. Generally, your transport is your second biggest cost after your home. And today I want to go into the different methods into buying a new car, you know, from the most expensive to the least expensive, and give my thoughts on each different method. Now, straight up, I'm just going to say that I don't actually agree with buying brand new cars. I think it's simply just a waste of money. You're better off just buying at least, you know, 6 months old. You know, you should be able to save yourself thousands of pounds even if you buy just 6 months old. But for whatever reason, some people still just want to buy a brand new car, whether they, you know, want the 19 plate car to show off to their friends, or maybe they just really love the new car smell and they just want to justify that by paying, you know, extra thousands of pounds. You know, whatever the reason is, I'm going to be going into the different methods into buying a brand new car today. So we're not talking about cars that have depreciated somewhat. We're talking about the cars that they just roll out of the factory and they're ready to be sold at the dealership. Now, I'm going to start at the most expensive and work my way down to the least expensive method. So right up there at the top, being the most expensive method, is leasing a car, or as I like to call it, fleecing a car. That's because you're getting fleeced by the dealership. So there's a huge misconception when it comes to leasing. A lot of people think they're getting a really good deal when in reality they're not. They use facts like, yeah, but I don't have to pay for servicing, or I don't have to pay for the upkeep of my car, and I can just simply give the car back after, say, 3 years. Yes, all of those may be true, but they definitely do come at a price. Okay, so let me break it down how a lease actually works. How do they work out the money that you're going to be paying each month? So let's say that you have a 3-year lease, right? The first thing that they do is they calculate how much that car would depreciate in 3 years. So that's the first thing that you're paying for. You're paying for the depreciating cost of the asset. The next thing you're going to be paying for is cost of capital. So that is basically the opportunity loss for the car dealership. So that is the fact that they are giving you an asset for a certain amount of time where they could have sold that asset and got the cash straight away, but because they're lending it you for, say, 3 years or whatever, you know, they're losing an opportunity there. They're losing the opportunity to earn money quicker, if that makes sense. So they bundle the cost of capital in with the lease price. You know, people are like, yeah, but it's you know, it's a really good deal, but it's not. You're generally going to be paying somewhere in the region of 15 to 20% interest, and that's like the interest rate what you would expect to pay on a credit card. So in my opinion, paying 15 to 20% interest on a car is not a very good deal. Now, the third thing that you have to pay for is if you take the car back to the dealership with any damage above wear and tear, you're going to be paying for that, and you're going to be stung because you're going to be paying dealership prices for it. So first thing, you're paying for the depreciating costs. Second thing, you're paying for the cost of capital. Third thing, you're going to be paying for any repairs when you take the car back. Now, the next expensive method is going to be financing the car. So, you know, there's a lot of different methods. There's a traditional finance where you just put down a deposit, or you might trade in your car and then you pay a monthly payment each month until your car is paid. then there's PCP, and there's loads of different other ones now. But basically, financing your car is when you are going to be paying the base price for the car plus an interest rate. Now, a lot of people seem to think that they're getting a great deal because the advert says 0% interest. So they're like, well, why would I give them this much cash when I can just pay it monthly and then, you know, have that cash into an investment, and I'm paying 0% interest on this car. Here's the thing, when it says 0% interest, you are still paying interest. They're just including it in the price. So here's the thing, right? Say if you buy a £20,000 car, the recommended retail price for the car is £20,000. If you're buying the car on 0% interest, you can bet that you are going to be buying the car for £20,000 or whatever it is. You're not going to be getting the best deal for it. But if you go into the dealership with cash, you can damn bet that they're going to give you a better deal for that car. You know, you might get it for £19,000, but you're going to be paying less than if you get it on finance, okay? Car dealerships are not stupid. Like I said, cost of capital. They could sell that car cash, get the cash straight away. So, you know, they're not going to be giving it to you for 0% interest. They're making no money on it, and you know, they've got an asset. You've got one of their assets for like a few years. They're not, car dealerships are not stupid. They're in the industry to make money, not to lose money. Now, the next method would be to look at the interest rate that the car dealership is offering you on the finance, or at least work out how much that you could buy the car for cash. What was the best price that they could offer you for the car if you was to buy it cash, and then go ahead and go to all these different banks and see what the best price that they can give you on a loan. You might be able to get a very, very low interest rate loan, and in which case you can take the loan from the bank, which is generally an unsecured loan, which means that they don't have a lien on you. You know, if you fail to pay that loan back, then they can't go ahead and, you know, take the car off you, because the bank had nothing to do with the car. But that aside, if you can get a loan from the bank, that means that then you can take that cash and you can go into the dealership and negotiate a best price to buy the car with cash. And you're generally going to get a better deal that way than if you was to simply just use the method of finance through the car dealership. Now, it is to be noted that this may take some time, because you really do need to shop around. You really need to be making sure you're getting the best deal, because you could be saving yourself hundreds or even thousands of pounds. Now, it's definitely worth remembering that you need to compare the total price of the car, not just monthly payments to monthly payments. You need to work out the total price of the car. And you know, a lot of people are just like, what is the, you know, lowest monthly payment that I can pay? And they're like, oh, well, you can pay £20 a week, and it's like, you got to pay that for the next 84 years of your life. And that's how a lot of people get sucked into car financing. They just look at the, you know, weekly or monthly payment, and then they don't actually look at the total cost of it, because generally the longer the loan, the more interest rate that you're going to be paying. Okay, so I'm going to be ending on the best method, and it should go without saying, if you haven't already realized, that would be to buy the car with cash. So if you set, so like I said before, if you have cash there and ready, that means that the car dealership can get a quick sale. They haven't got to go through the whole process of seeing if you can get accepted for financing, see if, you know, the car is really suitable for you, seeing if you can, you know, seeing if you're actually going to be able to afford the monthly payments. You know, if you just have the cash right there, you can literally just walk into a dealership, you'd be like, yep, I'll buy that car, here's the cash, and you can walk out again. It's a quick sale for them. So the profit margin that they need to make on that car is potentially lower, because, you know, it's taking less time for them, it's taking less labor time, so they don't need to make as much profit on a car that they can sell like that, do they? Now, one thing that paying with cash also does, it makes sure that you don't overspend on a car. You know, I believe that you should pay everything with cash, because then it ensures that you're living within your means. You know, you're definitely not going to overspend on a car because you have the cash there, you're not going into debt for it. Now, it probably is going to humble you quite a bit more, because you might be like, well, my friend has a BMW M5 on finance and I, you know, can only afford a Vauxhall Corsa. How does that work? Now, this is what I'm saying, you know, it really does make you realize what you actually can afford, and it's not making you in a position where pretty much your whole income is going towards a car. That's not a good position to be in. And that's also known as being car poor. The same as overspending on a house would make you house poor. Okay then, so like I said, I really do not agree with buying a brand new car. If you can, try to buy one that's at least a few years old, and don't worry what people say about that it's not going to be very reliable, because generally today cars that are a few years old are just as reliable, if not more, than a brand new car. But if you just really have to buy a brand new car, definitely consider saving up the cash and buying one. If not, the next best thing would be to get a loan from the bank. Obviously, you have to do your research, you have to shop around, and you have to consider the total cost of the car, not just the like-for-like monthly payments. And the next best thing after that would be to finance it, but that really wouldn't make sense, because if you can finance it, then you should be able to get a bank loan. And then the worst thing would be to lease a car. Do not lease a car. You may get drawn into thinking you've got a really good deal, you know, like I said, you might have low monthly payments, everything might be included, but you're definitely paying for it. You will then have nothing at the end. You'll have to simply go through the whole process again. You know, you're essentially, if you just keep leasing, you're just going to be leasing your entire life, and then you'll never actually own an asset, i.e. your car. So yeah, being fleeced is not a good situation. Alright then, so I hope this video has helped a few of you guys, and if you do have any questions, please leave a comment down below. If you do have anything to add, also leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you in that next video. Peace!